So you just got back from Costco and you picked up one of these, a pressure cooker. You had no plans on buying one. You've seen the infomercials, your friends have them, but now it's sitting on your kitchen counter and you have no idea on how to use it. Well, today you're in luck. We're talking about Pressure Cooker 101, all the basics, how to cook fantastic, fast meals. I'll show you all the tips and tricks that you need on how to use your brand new pressure cooker. I'll also share my mom's favorite recipe and a really cool cocktail. Let's make this happen. Hey everyone, Randall here with Cooking Under Pressure, a YouTube channel bringing you wonderful meals and awesome recipes using my pressure cooker, and I'm just an average guy. I've went through many years of trial and error to come up with these recipes and meals that you can now share with your friends and family. With a pressure cooker, there's a lot of fear and intimidation, but hopefully you'll be able to use your Cuisinart, your Instapot, or what I have is a Power Pressure Cooker XL, and get all of that confidence in order to make some fantastic meals. If you're new to the site, please subscribe below, and I'll have a lot of notes and links throughout the videos that you can use with some new nuggets and hopefully help you make better meals in your pressure cooker. Now, let's get to the video. So you just picked up a pressure cooker, or you got one as a gift, or maybe you've had one for a few months or a year and you've been making some recipes but you're not using it that often and you really want to know how to make better meals with your pressure cooker. Well, today we're talking Pressure Cooking 101. I'm going to give you all the basics on how to use your pressure cooker. If you're a beginner, we'll go step by step with all the instructions on how to make fantastic meals, fast meals, because we've got busy lives. It's a different world now. You've got kids that have to go to soccer practice. You've got work. You're working from home. You're working away. Moms, dads, I get it. I'm in that position. I'm that guy. 6 years ago, I said, I am going to find a way to make faster meals. I tried a pressure cooker, and I have loved it ever since. This is my favorite cooking appliance, hands down. Yeah, I've got a smoker, I've got a grill, love those, but I use this 2 to 3 days a week to make awesome meals, and hopefully I can share my knowledge with you today. The biggest thing I hear from friends, family that say, oh, you use a pressure cooker, is the fear factor. Oh, I'm afraid to use a pressure cooker. All those horror stories from grandma blowing the roof off. Well, these things are super safe. This is a different era. Pressure cookers are extremely safe nowadays. I've been using one for 6 years, never had any issues, and I'm going to take you through the steps, especially the safety steps, on how to use yours carefully, but also use it with a lot of confidence, and you're going to really love using your pressure cooker. Pressure cooking is actually really easy. I look at it like 3 stages, 3 simple stages. The first stage, you're actually building up pressure to get to temperature. It's that simple. You use a liquid, whatever liquid you're going to use. I'll give you some examples, but that liquid is getting up to temperature. Then you've got the cook phase. Whatever you plug in, or in this case it's just a timer, we're talking about the time. Let's say it's 6 minutes for rice. That is the cooking time. An actual time goes through 6 minutes, and then the pressure cooker needs to be released. It goes into usually a warm phase for most pressure cookers, and at that point the pressure can either be released naturally or you can release it yourself. It's those 3 steps. It's that simple. We're talking, again, super fast food, and it's very easy. All right, let's start with the lid of my pressure cooker. I have a Power Pressure Cooker XL. They're all very similar. Instant Pot. This is a Wolfgang Puck. But the 2 most important things on this lid is the pressure release valve. This is what you're going to have closed while you're cooking, and if you want to do a fast release, you release it here, or if you want to do a natural release, you just don't touch it at all. This is the indicator valve that lets you know when the pressure cooker is pressurized, and also when that's dropped, that lets you know that it's time to open up your pressure cooker to get to your meal. It's safe to open it. That thing drops, you're good to go. Okay, let's take a look inside the pressure cooker. This is the inner pod. It's got some nice numbers and measurements right here. There's a max level. You never ever want to load your inner pod any higher than the max level. The issue with that is you can get too much pressure coming up through the valves. It can get all foamy, it can get gunked up, and you can cause a lot of issues. So make sure you do not overfill your inner pot. As I mentioned, I have two pressure cookers here. This one is just a turn timer, super simple, but it has all the same functionality. This one, a little bit more fancy. This is what you're gonna see on your Instant Pot and a lot of the other pressure cookers. This has a lot of functionality in the sense of touching buttons that will cook for rice, that will cook for meats, that will cook for stews. Guess what, folks? It is just timing. That's all it is. The only difference on this, we have a slow cooker button, and I also have a canning button. It's a little bit different temperature, but I'm telling you, that's all you have to do is hit one of these buttons. It's just gonna give you a time, and then you can adjust the time on the cooking of whatever you're going to be making. Say we're making rice. Okay, I wanna do rice, 6 minutes. What's nice, we have a rice button. When you hit it, it goes straight to 6 minutes. But maybe I want to go to rice, and my rice I want to cook for 8 minutes for whatever reason. You can then hit the rice button and we have an adjustment. It'll bump it up. Most pressure cookers are very similar to that. No issue at all. Don't get too caught up with all of these buttons. People panic. What am I going to do with all of these buttons? I don't understand it. Listen, this pressure cooker over here just has a dial with time on it. It's no different than this one, pretty much. I mean, this one, yeah, you can do canning because the temperature is a little bit different. You can do slow cooking, but I have a slow cooker. Why would I use this for a slow cooker? I've got a slow cooking function. No, I'm going to use my slow cooker for slow cooking. I want fast cooking out of this. So that's why I'm going to use my pressure cooker. I'm going to hit the most important button, which for me is always the meat button. That one is 15 minutes on my Power Pressure Cooker XL. When I hit 15 minutes, I can usually cook anything that has chicken or pork or beef in it, and it will come out perfect. If I need to adjust it, there's a button on this pressure cooker to adjust it. So I'll just take you through these buttons. We have the canning. Like I said, I'll be honest with you, I've never canned anything. I don't do yogurts. I don't do any type of desserts. I really haven't done much on the pasta side. I've done a little bit on the pasta side. I'll fill you in on a couple of those recipes, but it's more about adding pasta at the end. But overall, this is just about timing. All these buttons are just times. Everything for my pressure cooker, 228 degrees, okay? So there's no time difference. Some of your pressure cookers say low heat, high heat. Most of the time, you're just gonna be cooking on high heat unless, like I said, you're doing yogurts or canning or something along that nature. Let's look at a couple more of these buttons here. We are looking at beans and lentils. That's 5 minutes. You have fish and vegetables. That's 2 minutes. Chicken, meat, that is 15 minutes. A time adjustment, and then it goes into warm. What's another nice function about this Power Pressure XL is the saute button. You can start off your meal, hit saute. Say I'm doing a Boston butt and I want to sear the outside of it. I put the Boston butt inside this 8-quart Power Pressure cooker, and it will get up to temperature and sear it. I can put some oil in there, sear all sides. I can then turn off the saute, hit the meat button, and add any additional time that I want to add to it, and it's already been seared here. I don't have to go to my stove and sear it, or sear it, out on the grill, or however you want to sear it. You can sear that piece of meat right in here. You can sear chicken, whatever you'd like, pork, any meat that you want to sear, you can do right in here with the saute button. It's awesome. So let's say we are just cooking white rice. Let me take you through the steps on how easy that would be to cook. Very simple. What you do, after you put in your liquid and your rice, plain and simple, you just put on your lid and you make sure, as we talked about safety, that your pressure release valve is set to lock. So now we're closed, and like I said, depends on your pressure cooker, but make sure you read your manual and you know that it's in the lock mode or the close mode or the seal mode. At that point, it's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to get up to pressure. How does it get up to pressure? All right, you have to hit, in this case, the rice and risotto button. Very simple. Like I told you, 6 minutes. Right now, my pressure cooker is heating up. That's the 5 to 7, maybe a little bit longer. Depends on how much rice you have in, how much liquid. It really depends on, this is an 8-quart as I mentioned, but I always kind of target 5 to 7 minutes. Once it comes up to temperature, then I will see the number 6 means the 6 minutes is going to start counting down. That's how it works on this pressure cooker. In this case, it wouldn't start until the pressure cooker would not, once it got up the pressure, then it would start counting down. They're very, very similar. This one just has a turn knob. This one has a button. This one's digital. This one isn't. It's that simple. So I let it go through the 6 minutes. In this case, I'm going to turn it off just because I don't have anything in it. And 6 minutes goes by after it gets up to pressure. At that point, we are looking at, do I want to release the steam right now because I want to eat right now because the kids are already here, my husband, my wife, my partner, whatever, we're ready to eat. You can release that steam, that rice is going to be cooked. But if you don't have to and you're just going to let it sit in there for a while, just let it release naturally. And you know what that means? Doing absolutely nothing. You just sit. It'll take about, let's call it 10 minutes. It will release. What's nice is this little red indicator. I'm going to open this. It's safe right now because I don't have anything in it. This indicator will be popped up while it's cooking, and then once the pressure has gone out of the pressure cooker, this little puppy drops, boom, and that tells you that it is safe to open this pressure cooker. It's all about safety, as we talked about, folks. These indicators let you know. I know people have some fear. I know people are intimidated, but there are so many safety backups on these pressure cookers. There's really nothing to be afraid of. And you're going to be using this thing all the time. You'll get the knack of it very quickly. If you decide to release the pressure quickly, right after it's done, it will beep and say, hey, it's time to eat some rice. I always use a towel, sometimes a glove, a mitt, whatever you want to use, but I put it right over the valve, and it's just a quick little twist, and the pressure will come flying out. It's that simple. Take about, let's talk about maybe about 1 minute or so. Once you hear all of that pressure come out, you can take a quick look at the indicator valve, the red indicator valve in my case. Once it drops, you turn. I take my towel, and I'll show you in the other videos, I always open it away so I'm not looking into it. Yes, they are safe, but you are going to get a lot of steam. This thing is hot. I'm not going to lie to you. Food that comes out of a pressure cooker is extremely hot. You're not going to be able to eat it immediately, and I'm talking about 1 to 2 minutes. You do have to put it on a plate, let it cool a little bit. That's through experience. Pressure cooker food is hot, but it's awesome, it's tasty, and it's so quick, it will be worth the wait. Take this off, then I scoop it out, do whatever you want to do at that point. But that's how easy it is. So that took, if I did the fast release, it took 13 minutes for Japanese Korean rice, which is one of my favorite types of rice. And you can mix it with anything that you want. We are going to have some recipes that incorporate some lime, some cilantro, some mango, some awesome rice. You'll see them coming up. But super fast, super tasty. That's the pressure cooker. There isn't much more than that. Nothing to be afraid of. These are fun to use. They're easy to use. And I can't tell you the meals that I have made, and I can't wait to share these meals with you. I'm telling you, you will be thanking me and saying, I'm so glad I bought a pressure cooker. And the best. I hope you've been able to take away a couple of nuggets from our Basics 101 in pressure cooking, and now you have the confidence to use your pressure cooker like I'm able to use mine. I make healthy, fast, fantastic meals in my pressure cooker, and I know you can do the same. Coming up, we have my mom's meatballs. You are going to love this recipe. And as always, if you have any comments or feedback, please leave them below. And please subscribe if you'd love to see our future recipes and videos. Hey guys, welcome back. I have a fantastic recipe for you today, and it's really true to my heart. What do we have? Mom's meatballs. I grew up with Mom's meatballs when I was a little kid, and she used to cook these 2 to 3 hours, making the family happy. Always had them for appetizers, had them on the weekends. But as I said, it took about 2 to 3 hours to make these. We've got a pressure cooker now. We're going to make these in 20 minutes. Has it been 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you get a call from your friends. Hey, come on over. We're having a party. Can you bring a side dish? You're like thinking, oh no, I don't have anything to bring. Well, guess what? Now you can show up because it's only going to take you about 30 minutes with the best appetizers at the party, and you're going to be able to say that you brought meatballs, because who doesn't love meatballs at a party? For these meatballs, it's kind of semi-homemade. We're talking about, I know Sandra Lee uses that term, but we're using frozen meatballs, a couple of bags. I got 60 meatballs here. We've got whole cranberry sauce. Make sure it's whole. Chili sauce. I use Heinz because that's what my mom always used, but there's Del Monte. There's all kinds of brands. You can use the Walmart brand too. And then last but not least, I like to kick it up a notch with some chili garlic sauce. You can put a couple of spoonfuls in that in the pressure cooker at the end to really add a little bit of spice, but it's up to you. This is a sweet and savory dish. It doesn't take any time at all. You will be the rock star at the party, and I can't wait to show you how to make these. All right, let's cut open this bag of meatballs. You can get meatballs in any of your grocery store in the frozen section. Buy them in bigger packs. It makes it a little bit cheaper for you. These are, like I mentioned, about 50, 60 total meatballs between the two bags. So just throw the meatballs right into your pressure cooker. Next up, as I mentioned, 2 cans of whole cranberry. Make sure it's whole cranberry. Don't use the jelly kind. It's key. Mom always used the whole cranberry. So we'll get this going. Got whole cranberries, as I mentioned. What I do with the whole cranberries is I don't even use it. Let's get this off there. I just use a technique of little pinch on both sides and a tap, and it jumps right in there. Let's do that one more time. Let's see. So as I mentioned, Mom always used whole cranberries, but the consistency of the meatballs are always really, really nice and thick, mixed in with the Heinz chili sauce. So I just pour that straight in. Now, as you know, you have to have quite a bit of liquid inside your pressure cooker while you're cooking. Now, there's a lot of liquid that's actually coming from this chili sauce. But what I also do is, so I don't waste any, I just take the 2 bottles of chili and I just fill them both with water. And just fill each one up to the top just one time, so it gets all the rest of that chili sauce. And we can recycle these bottles as well, which is always a good thing. Spill a little water there. And just pour 2 extra bottles of water into the pressure cooker. As I mentioned, I like a little bit of hot sauce. All right, I like about 2 small spoons of chili sauce, or you could use sriracha, whatever your favorite chili sauce is. Don't be shy. Put as much in to the pressure cooker as you want. Remember, it's already going to be a little bit sweet. That adds a little bit of hot and savory. And then all I do is just take a spoon, stir it up a little bit. You'll see we mix it. Just stir it up. Make sure that all the ingredients get mixed together. You can see all the consistency. Meatballs are looking great. And now we're gonna turn this little puppy on. So, as always, we talk about safety with our videos. Make sure your lid is closed tightly. With the XL, the pressure cooker XL, I'm fortunate because I get a nice beep. If it's not locked in, the lid message comes on. So I do 6 to 8 minutes for the meatballs on my power pressure cooker. If I hit the rice button, it will go to 6 minutes, and then I just add a couple more minutes. So I hit 6 plus, so I've got a total of 8-minute cooking time. Now, you've seen some of those infomercials where it says, hey, I was able to cook pulled pork in 20 minutes. No, that isn't the way that it works. you're actually getting up to pressure, as I told you in my 101 video. So it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to get up to pressure. Then the actual cooking time is going to be 6 minutes. And then while the pressure is coming out of the pressure cooker, if you're doing it naturally, probably takes about 10 to 12 minutes. So you're talking about 10 to 12 minutes. So let's say 20 to 25 total minutes. So, don't always believe what you see on those TV shows where it says you can make food in 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 6. No, you have to include the whole total cooking time. And we're looking at about 20 to 25 minutes to come at you with some of the best meatballs you've ever had. Mom's. While I'm waiting for Mom's Meatballs to cook, I always got to have a frosty beverage while I'm hanging around talking to my friends. Today's beverage, probably my favorite summer beverage. I know you guys haven't had Fresca in a while, but I'm a big Fresca guy. Love to mix my Fresca with a little Bacardi Limon and a couple wedges of lime. You know how to get all your juices out of your lime, folks. Make sure you take the whole lime, throw it in your microwave for about 10 to 12 seconds, pull it out, roll it, cut it. It's all about the juices. Cheers. See you in a little bit. Right, these meatballs are done. The pressure valve has dropped. I let this set of meatballs drop on a natural release, so it took about 20 minutes to release the pressure naturally. If you're in a hurry, you can use a towel, as you know, with your pressure cooker, and I explained in the 101 video that you can just release the pressure. But in this case, because I had the extra time, it ended up being about 30 minutes. I let the pressure release naturally. The pressure valve has dropped. I always use, as you know, a towel to open up the lid of my pressure cooker, and I always open it up away from me just because I'm all about safety. And look at Mom's Meatballs. Woo! Wow. Beautiful thick sauce. 30 minutes. If you release the pressure a little bit quicker, you can get these done in 20-25 minutes. Let me put a couple of these in this bowl right here. You are going to love these meatballs. They are sweet, they are savory, a little spicy because I added the garlic hot sauce. But there they are. If you want to take your pressure cooker with you, you can leave it on a warm function. Most of your pressure cookers will have a warm function. However, these are kind of heavy, and if you have a favorite slow cooker, you can just bring them in the slow cooker and keep it on warm if you're going to be at the party for 3 or 4 hours. And if you do transfer them over to your slow cooker, make sure you always use a slow cooker liner. I mean, it saves you from cleaning. You are not going to have to worry about scrubbing your slow cooker. Remember, when you take your food out of the pressure cooker, it can still be a little bit hot. So let it cool just a little bit. But look at these meatballs. Oh, so thankful for Mom's recipe of meatballs. And you are going to be a rock star, as I mentioned, at your party. Wow. Best meatballs you've ever had. Another thing you can do is bring your favorite, maybe potato roll. I love potato rolls. You could bring a hot dog roll, any type of rolls, subs, grinders, whatever you want to call them. Throw Mom's Meatballs inside that roll. Who doesn't love a meatball sub? And you can continue to wow the guests at this party.